Hello, friends, family, LinkedIn connections. Anybody who's just watching right now. It is Wednesday. It is rainy, and that doesn't change my outlook. I'm still happy, still pumped, and I'm super excited for another episode of Zoomin with Zack. So we're going to get right into it. We're not going to do all the theatrics that I did last week. We're going to make these shows quick, hopefully 10 minutes or less. I got someone amazing I'm ready to introduce you guys to. I'm super excited. But without further ado, let's go. Often you're going to catch me bopping out of that. I love that vibe so much. It's a good track. So again, welcome to Zoomin with Zack. Super excited to introduce you to someone. It's Women's History Month, so I did say I'm only going to have impactful women in my life for this first month of sessions. And of course, we'll have amazing women over the course of the months and years. But this particular woman is very influential in my life. She's actually the first businesswoman I met when I moved back to Philadelphia from New York. So some of you who know me well, you probably already know who this is. But she is everything from a serial entrepreneur to an author, just an all around, just amazing person. And she's sown a lot into me, especially on a professional business level. Over the years that I had to have her in this first few weeks of the show. So I'll ask my guest right now to say something because I'm curious to see if you can pick her voice up and understand who it is. So special guest, say something to the folk. Oop, I think you're still muted, special guest.
I love life, and I believe that life is meant to live to its fullest. And the more we maximize our potential, the more happiness and fulfillment we get.
So clearly I got a guest that's going to be dropping gems. That was a good one. If you have guesses, feel free to write it in the chats. And again, when you're watching today, you can leave questions, you can comment, you can engage with us, whether you're on LinkedIn or our YouTube page. But without further ado, I want to introduce my very good friend, Jen Groover.
Hey.
What's up, Jen?
So happy to be here.
Indeed.
I like in the beginning too.
And it's interesting because we're not using Zoom. But it makes so much more sense to give that context. People know what Zoomin is. Zoomin's a thing now. It wasn't, a year and a half ago. But now it's like, all right, Zoomin, so you're doing a video call. That is the term to use. But we are live on LinkedIn. So I actually just recently got the permission to go live. So I said, I want to do something really cool on the platform to engage with folks. And, everything I do is networking related. So I said, all right, I'm going to introduce amazing people to my my LinkedIn community and make connections and kind of take it from there. So super excited to have you on, Jen. We go way back when I left the Nets and moved back to Philly and was trying to find my way. I had the opportunity to interview with Thuzio Executive Club. And even though they're based in New York, they already had you pegged as like their tastemaker, their influencer in Philly. Right. So you were the first person I interviewed with. I didn't have business cards. I remember we met in a lobby of a hotel somewhere in Center City. I don't remember which hotel it was.
Yeah, it was one. I forget which one. I forget the name, but it was right on 17th and
Sofitel sounds familiar. And I was overwhelmed because of course they sent me your bio and what you've done, and I'm like, this is the person I got to go sit down here and meet with. But you were, easy to talk to. I guess you saw some potential in me because you recommended me for the team. And we've been working together, helping Thuzio grow in Philly for the last almost 5 years at this point. So not only am I super grateful, but, we've had a great business relationship since then. And before we jump into our 3 questions, I'm actually going to embarrass you right quick. So I was looking for photos that we both were in. So one of the first things I found was this. So this is Super Bowl. You got you and your lovely daughters, and there might even be Bex on air right next to you.
Yeah. Where were we?
That was Eagles Parade.
Okay.
when we were walking, me and my brother were walking around aimlessly, and you pulled us into an open bar, all food. Like, it was insane.
It was great.
And that other picture, that is us at the Mind of Philly workshop. We did a hosting workshop. That's Natalie Eganoff on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's one of the multiple times that we've gotten a chance to hang out together. And then, of course, I found more. You know where this is from.
Oh, yeah. Jumpstart.
The Jumpstart Startup Pop-Up Shop. That was a few years back. We had a good time working that together. Shout out to my man, Alan Stratton, who came through to get some business advice from that event. But again, folks, I really want to tell you a little bit about Jen. Jen is not just an author. I know I'm focusing on that here, but she is a serial entrepreneur. She is an amazing thought leader. I mean, the things that she'll educate you on is beyond me. She's also an author, The More Method, which we'll talk about. Of course, I encourage everyone to follow her on Instagram at Jen Groover, on LinkedIn. You know, of course, find her there as well. And when I asked her some of the things she's really passionate about, she mentioned health and wellness, connecting human behavior, elevating potential, which is amazing and awesome, and making an impact. But Jen, before we even go too much further, feel free to tell the folks a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into our questions.
Sure. Well, you did a good summary. I am a serial entrepreneur. I started my first business right out of college in 1995. And before entrepreneurship was as cool as it is today. And it was in the fitness industry. And I wound up becoming a national level fitness competitor, owned a gym in Wilmington, Delaware. And during that time period, I was fortunate enough to meet many incredible entrepreneurs and mentors who were mindset trainers and the top of their game around thought leadership in mastering your mindset, mastering your life. And so I sat at their feet, learned everything possible. My degree was in psychology, and education. So that was already my obsession, but I found every opportunity possible to learn and absorb and understand everything from psychology to physiology and nutrition, but also bringing in quantum physics, neuroscience, metaphysics, and all of the different disciplines that create optimizing human behavior. So since then, my life has been dedicated in building businesses and helping others build themselves and their lives to their greatest potential.
Awesome. And I had the opportunity to have Jen on Thursday Thoughts, my show at Navitas. Shameless plug. Shout out to Mind of Philly and Navitas, our partners for Zoomin with Zack. And on that show, she gave me a really good education on the More Method, which is her new book. I'll actually bring that up right now. I think Jen's reaching for it. She got copies ready to go, folks. Slide into her DMs, message her, get yourself a copy. And there's also at changeherstory.org is where you'd go to purchase said book. But tell us a little bit about the book. Wet folks whistle a little bit, Jen.
So the More Method is the culmination of my 20 plus years of teaching human behavior, bringing all those disciplines I just mentioned together in a simplified framework that anyone at any stage of life can get from where they are to where they want to go. It helps people uncover limited beliefs that they have, self-sabotaging behaviors, helps them understand emotional intelligence more so that they can respond to life instead of react to life, and elevate all their relationships and just create greater holistic success. So ultimately, it teaches people how to get more of everything they desire in life.
Love it. So definitely encouraging folks to check out Jen's book at changeherstory.org. Now, here's the fun part, Jen. I got some random questions for you.
Okay.
3 to be specific.
Okay.
And no, Jen does not know what the questions are, what they could be. Jen, you're going to pick a 3-digit number. Mm-hmm. Numbers cannot match. So you don't give me no 333. I want 3 separate numbers. Give me a 3-digit number, and you're going to get a question that corresponds with each number. And you want to try to answer your questions in a minute or so. You know, we don't have a strict time limit, but we try to keep it moving. But what's your lucky 3-digit number here?
248.
Ooh, 248. All right. So question number 2. What skill set did you gain or improve during quarantine?
Well, I would say I improved. I was doing virtual for a very long time, but I improved the mastery of doing keynotes in front of even larger audiences on many different platforms. So Zoom was easy for me. StreamYard was easy for me, but there were so many new platforms that were being used during this time period that you had to be very agile, very adaptable. So I definitely improved upon that, as well as just digital marketing altogether, taking it in my own hands to figure things out that I never really felt like figuring out before, but taking the time to do so because I really did want to master new skill sets during that time period.
Gotcha. That's awesome. I got into editing. I mentioned that in my last episode. That was sort of my my main come up during the quarantine. It was 248. So question number 4. Boom. What's one of the biggest hurdles you've overcome or didn't overcome, and what have you learned from it? That's a good one.
That is a good one because I mean, my whole life is focused on constantly trying to overcome hurdles.
Right.
The hurdles that are our greatest hurdles are within ourselves, and I would say it's still learning how to not react to certain things that trigger me still from my past. So it usually is somebody close to you in your life that knows how to trigger you the most, and so it's still learning how to let that go. And it's something that is really easy for me if I don't know the people or if it's someone not really close to me. It's the people that are closest that have history that I still can feel triggered by, that I want to learn to let that go and not be affected at all. I mean, I work through it where I'm like, okay, I'm being triggered and here's what I want to do and here's what I might do. And I even might react at first and go back and take responsibility for that reaction, which is your latest stage of growth before you get to the place where you're actually benign to it. So I'm getting
Awesome answer. And again, folks, like if you have any thoughts or whatever, feel free to leave them in the comments. Like I said, Jen drops jewels like I don't know. I'm trying to give a good comparison of like Mike's dropping or something, but it's always great stuff when you're talking to Jen. Jen, your third question was number 8, so your number was 248. So this one, this could be a tricky one. Let's see. What does your ideal workday look like?
Oh, I know this. So, well, my ideal day is I wake up, I drink so one of my routines and one of the energy hacks that I share with people all the time is to get your energy up as soon as you wake up, have about 2 or 3 of your favorite songs that you can't not move to and listen to those in bed. And I get out of bed and have my coffee while I'm going through my emails. And then I am maybe on a plane to somewhere great, doing a keynote, and then at a convention, meeting tons of people. And then maybe that next day, getting on another plane to another destination to do the same thing. So I'm most alive when I am doing live events and traveling.
Awesome. And folks, she's not kidding. She is jet setting, speaking at engagements on a regular basis. Before we even go to our close, tell folks, I know you actually were on a tour around when coronavirus started. Give people a little bit of insight into what that was about.
Yeah. So I was starting my book tour. And for those who don't know, when you have a book tour, you're planning for a good year in advance. And I was in Asia doing the book tour before I started the US book tour. And was in many different countries, including Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines. And it was amazing, but people thought I was crazy because it was during February and the beginning of March. And obviously COVID hit Asia before us. I'm so glad I went. I would never regret it for a second. I would regret it if I didn't go. But then when I came back is when lockdown started and my US tour came to a screeching halt, unfortunately. So we used this past year, we had to pivot and adapt just like everybody else, where we kind of just put a pause button on. And we summed up that first year as just a soft launch beta. And we're going to hit it hard again when everything opens up in the next month or 2.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So again, Jen, thank you so much for being on Zoomin with Zack. For all the folks listening, I am Zack James, Rebel Hill Consulting. Happy to chat with folks about growing their business. And someone actually reached out to me after the first episode and said, "Can you help me do like a production or show like that?" And I was like, "Well, I wasn't thinking about it, but I certainly can." So
Yeah.
if folks want to learn how to do these sorts of productions, whether it be live on LinkedIn or on any platform, feel free to reach out to me. But as we always do, we're going to close with Jen. Jen, you can give the folks some insights, tell them what you need them to do or how you like to connect. And we'll see folks next time on Zooming with Zack. I'm about to go rapid fire. I think I might have 2 episodes next week. So it should be fun. But take it away, Jen.
All right. Well, if you want to connect with me, I'm super connected on social media. I engage often and frequently. And if you are looking for keynote, leadership training, resiliency training, or anything to help mindset, which I know was a big topic this year for everybody, please reach out to me, let me know. And again, if you want to learn how to get more of everything you desire in life, changeherstory.org is my publisher's platform, and it is the first ever all-female nonprofit publisher. And the proceeds go to getting more female authors to launch their books to tell stories that change the stories of others' lives. So thank you so much.